Yule Cup Group B, round of 16. We are in the human group. It's once again China versus Korea. 2 Chinese, 2 Koreans. Infi versus Romantic for a start, and So-In versus Jimiko. Kind of a classic nowadays as well in Korean tier 2 Warcraft. Same as Moon versus Lin or Lawlight versus Focus. There always seems to be a pair of players on the same tier. So that's our bracket here. GSL system. 4 players go in, 2 advance, 2 drop. And our first players are Infi and Romantic.
Starting off, Unconcealed Hill. Oh, for a moment I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to tell who's who, but it's Romantic in the bottom left, in the blue. Infi, we were speculating earlier, was he perhaps going to switch races? Was he going to go to Orc? Was he perhaps going to go to Night Elf? That would have been quite the surprise, but no, it is Human here instead. It seems like, once again, in the big tournaments, in the important stages, the race swapping isn't really a thing. When was it the last time when a player in a big tournament swapped races? I feel like I can't remember.
Me neither. No, not sure. Sorry, no idea.
Yeah, in WGL qualifiers we have it all the time, but qualifiers are qualifiers and tournaments are tournaments. This is absolutely a big one. Big prize pool here to be fought for, online only, but still a big tournament. Thank you very much. Nebo HSV with a 39-month resub. Wake up, Neo, he says. And Bamboozled with a 4 months. Thank you very much as well.
Thank you guys from my side too. We have, of course, an Archmage opening on both sides, as Remo pointed out correctly. Infi in the upper right of CH, Romantic in the bottom left. Colors are right here. Claws of Attack for Infi, the man who once had an account called I Need Claws. Will be very happy with that.
Creep routes apparently differing a little bit now. We have Romantic going towards the middle right away. Romantic, a player who is renowned for staying on tier 1 a long time, going heavy on the footman, going heavy on the creeping to get up fast in levels quickly, fast level 3, fast level 4, and willingly will oftentimes sacrifice the creep speed for this, so perhaps we'll be seeing that here as well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how this is pretty much the only matchup where there's a race to level 4.
Yeah, I guess, since it's a direct comparison, but in any matchup, I feel like especially against Undead, early level 4 AM is so good, especially to empower your MK and Paladin later on. MK will most likely be the choice here as well, but Paladin with no tier 3 play, most likely no tier 3 play, rather unlikely. And that makes me sad, Neo. Where are my knights? Where are my griffins? They're not played.
You raised this question for years, and the human just refuse to change up their mirror style. Kind of the same for the orcs, though.
It's understandable, though. Like, it's just the strongest style. It just is. On the highest level. On lower levels, you can get away with tier 3, but if you play against the best of the best, they just put too much pressure on. They get the priest, they get the breakers. And yeah, you need to follow to stay competitive, basically. Boots on both.
Yeah, you want to get in that chip damage against the opposing Archmage. So far, Infi is doing a little bit of a better job here with pretty much the same experience, but of course Claws of Attack help in these little skirmishes early. He gets a Water Elemental, gives him more experience, surpassing Romantic with that. Maybe he can get a counter kill, but Infi's micro seems to be on point. Of course, we have no Shadow Priests here for the spell, so you have to fight with what you have at the human tech tree on tier 1. Tier 2 is around the corner here, 2/3 done on both sides. This keeps both Archmages on level 2. Oh, Infi, are you losing a footman? Fireball range is enough for the kill.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, so early trading here. No level 3 races at all. Experience is exactly the same for the time being, but one more footy will be falling. Quite a bit of pressure onto these footmen here. Perhaps a consideration worth to go for a panda if all footies are hurt already. Roasting them after with a panda is worth a thought. But another footy will be falling, so definitely Infi getting the footman lead over here. We do have fountains as well, so some footmen are healing up.
Are under attack.
1/4 of a level ahead with that as well. Romantic 8 supply down, not replenishing these footmen. Infi, ooh, little battle. Romantic getting another kill here thanks to the creeps. Hires some mercenary for a couple of seconds. So catching up a little. Tier 2 is done. Is it Panda time? Infi is positioning himself at the tavern. Getting some chip damage in against this Archmage. But seems like both are going for Mountain King. And yeah, that's the case.
Alright, that is the norm nowadays. Panda's really rare to see. Nowadays, basically only when you're facing off against an early expansion. Then the Panda can become very valuable with the breath against the workers and so on. But no, this is as standard can be. We have MK on tier 2 and Breaker soon to join. Of course, Priest first for good healing and adept training. I guess the thing that stands out here so far in this game is that the creeping was really, really minimal by both. Not even level 3 yet. And Infi with a slight lead he got from the early game. It's just a little bit of an advantage, but it is one. He's going to be claiming that Ogre Lord now. And if he finds an aura, either one of the 3 big ones here. Of course, he can't make use of the Brilliance aura really, but the other 3 are really good. Ah!
The Brilliance though.
Gets the Brilliance. Okay. That's a little unfortunate, but at least it's good experience.
Romantics forces are split, so a third Stormbolt gets another footman here. Infi with Militia. Is he about to expand on the high ground of CH? Tier 2?
That looks like a big mistake. This might just be creeping. This might just be for, you know, having Militia available in case Romantic comes to contest. But this is the time where the arms race is on. We're pumping out priests, we're pumping out upgrades, we're pumping out breakers as well. And if you invest 600 gold right now into not units, that shouldn't work. But it's Infi.
Yeah.
Is he really gonna do it? Oh my god, he's really gonna do it.
Whoa. Okay.
And a tower.
Once it's fortified, it's pretty impossible to break because all that Romantic has is going to be ranged. You have to fight uphill. And there's a mischance then. Ooh, it's going to be tough. Romantic with an expansion as well, maybe in the bottom right. We take the time to thank more supporters. Bamboozled for the 4-month resub and Nukin with the 100 bits. I'm glad you have ideas, but that isn't the solution. Keep brainstorming, Slotty Remo. Also, polish my nuts and serve me a milkshake, Neo. Sure thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying my idea is the best, but I think, like, I'm not trying to, you know, disincentivize you guys from watching today, but Human Mirror has been the same for years. And it's not the best matchup we have in the game, just to put it that way. So I think we could be doing a better job. But anyways, counter expansion here by Romantic decides not to go all in against the expansion attempt of the opponent. I like that. Going all in, obviously always a risk. If it doesn't work out, you have lost already. Whereas with the counter expansion, there's a lot more options. You know, it's kind of like Tyrion in Game of Thrones when he talks about life and death. Life is full of possibilities, Neo. Death is very final. In Warcraft 3, that is counter expansion versus all in. Counter expansion is full of possibilities, but all in is very binary. It works and you win, or it doesn't work and you lose. So keep life interesting and keep it full of possibilities.
Alright, we have a possibility of a surround here against this Archmage, who's a little far forward. Big dispel by Romantic. Getting rid of the 2 Water Elementals, takes out a Priest as Infi. Footmen are falling, but that's what they're supposed to do. 1 breaker against 2 on Romantic's side. Can he retreat and push this expansion now? I doubt it. The damage doesn't seem to be too high at the moment. Archmage level 3.5 Devotion Aura. So good for Infi. Close to level 3 on the Mountain King as well. Romantic, in all regards, slightly behind. Stormbolt again. Right clicks again. Next priest dead. Level 3. Hello!
Romantic's pretty close though with his own level 3. If he gets a few more kills. But retreating in Human Mirror is always dangerous. Always have to fear the Stormbolt, and the priest will be lacking behind. So Infi is certainly getting the better end of this trade.
4 priests versus 1 is the state of the game now, and it's gonna be more Water Elementals in a bit. Level 3, okay, maybe the snipes can begin. He wasn't saving too much mana because the breakers 4 of them use their feedback ability now to burn the magic juice. And this ballsy expansion does work, man. It's crazy. Another priest dead. Romantic. It's not allowed to happen, but Infi makes this happen. It's crazy.
Yeah, the aggressive move out. It's always risky. Like, Romantic could have just played it more passively, could have stayed behind, could have crept up level 3 MK, which he finally did get, but he's losing more units in the process. But Romantic has always been a bold player, and in general, I think that's a good quality to have as a Warcraft 3 player, as a competitive player in general. If you always just play afraid and play passively and never take initiative, probably not a good idea, but sometimes it can backfire, and it seems like this was one of those occasions. So more camps now. Going to Infi, this is going to be his level 4 AM. He is in a pretty comfortable position now, so is this time for tier 3 maybe?
Greater mana. Tier level 4 for the Brilliance Aura level 2. This is a ton of spells to use for Infi at 60 supply. Romantic has established his counter expansion, has... will they get 1-0 break? Yeah, okay. 1-0 breakers are coming. Close to 60 supply, but here is Infi again. No time to waste at all. By the way, chat, are the sound levels correct of me and Remo, or do I have to adjust something? That would be nice to know. Give us some feedback, please, to make it better for all of us.
Infi was testing the waters here, moving south, seeing what's up, but doesn't want to commit. Doesn't want to overextend like like Romantic just did. But it turns out it wasn't that big of an overextension. Supply-wise, we're still very even, and both players are having the blacksmith upgrades coming now, basically exactly timed. Interestingly. And here comes the push towards the expansion, so Infi will certainly have to react to this.
Alright, and Romantic has the high ground now. He's retreating down the hill a little. 2 priests, snipeable, I guess. This breaker could be fodder. Oh, gets a bash. Definitely dead. Definitely? No. Micros him out. Supply lead is with Romantic.
MK catches a Stormbolt right there. Both MKs, of course, have that invul. Oh, that was a nice dodge. Sees that one coming. Breakers being microed here back and forth. The key is you don't just want to have breakers on A-click, because then everyone's damaging everything. Perfect priest healing can be coming in, and also a perfect heal scroll can be coming in. Speaking of heal scrolls, it's only Infi with a heal scroll here. And now Romantic fighting kind of against the high ground. This is not exactly ideal. MK bashed, but still kind of safe. Throws out a counter Stormbolt. And the militia flank, that's a pretty good one. Forcing the surround, perhaps on the AM. Can he find the Stormbolt surround? No. Aiming for the priest instead, going for the surefire kills. Level 4 on the MK now. Committed the big mana for this, though. But it doesn't feel like... Did Infi actually lose any units right there? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. The control was so great. Immediately disabling the Mountain King, burning quite some mana off of the little dwarf. And again, the priest snipes, man. We have 2 priests left for Romantic. Third one coming in. And on Infi's side, it looks so different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 6? Counting is very hard, but I guess it's 5. Another one snipe.
Yeah, this is really smart by Infi. He knows the opponent is at the fountain, so he's waiting for the reinforcements. He's waiting for the easy kills. Patient play, smart play by Infi, not overextending, not risking anything, just taking it one step at a time and making not really any mistakes. Really well played here so far by Infi. It's far from over, of course. In fact, it's Romantic with a supply lead. Upgrades might be a little bit more important, though. And it's 1-1 upgrades, but the breakers for Infi, of course, have that devotion aura, and that's a big thing to keep in mind. Heal scroll being used right there as well. That was his last one, his only one. But guess what? There's a shop right here. He could steal heal scrolls, but he's going for the TP instead. He used that before. He doesn't want to be stuck in a bad position again. Infi is not risking anything. He's not overextending. He's always got a way to get out and to play, even if some things should go wrong.
Okay, focus on the Mountain King now. We have a little choke here. Hard to observe thanks to the arc, but yeah, they're moving forward. Infi could push the expansion for a little, but that doesn't make too much sense. Oh, the water elemental.
Oh,
how
nice.
Smart. He just has a second option to do damage against the income. Romantic still at 900 gold though. Maybe slipping a little in macro. Good macro from Infi again, who's a level ahead. Oh, was a level ahead actually with the Mountain King, but oh, is still okay. And also like half a level with the Archmage. Slowly but steady. Romantic is blood dry.
It's interesting how the micro is turning around. Like when you have smaller breaker armies, like 60 supply and less, you want to focus fire for mass damage, but when you have so many breakers, more than 70 supply, if you A-click a target, it's not effective anymore because too many of your breakers are wasting time, not attacking anything. So now it's kind of an A-click war. That means a lot of breakers are quite hurt, especially for Infi. He would love the heal scroll. But he's still getting better trades. He's got level 5 AM now. I imagine that's Aura 3? Yes, it is.
Players' forces are under attack.
And slowly but steady. It's pretty cool how Infi is just getting ahead little by little, time after time. Really
Town is under
patient, meticulous, I guess you could call it.
Supply-wise, it's still pretty even, but if we compare the experience, it's Infi just miles and miles ahead. Mountain King went to the shop, double heal scroll now. Level 4.4 as well. Finally, Romantic is taking care of these water elementals. Infi had a great position, so Romantic couldn't storm here to the peasant line and kill the water elementals or dispel them. We don't see control magic, by the way. Kind of surprised about that. So again, breaker lines established. Let the snipes begin.
I guess the thing about control magic is if you see the water elementals, the enemy kills them and you just get more experience.
Yep.
So it might be better to just dispel them yourself and get the experience yourself. Infi, I hope he doesn't win right here because he's teching to tier 3, so we might see some transition. Not necessarily towards Knights, but certainly Paladin would be really nice.
2-2 for Infi, 2-1 for Romantic, and the 2 heal scrolls, man. They have so much value in this A-click battles. Everything is orange and red for Romantic. There's no way he can hold this, and he knows it, and it's 1-0 for the Iceman.
Nice play by Infi. This was, I think, a good showcase of how every little thing matters. He got a few more footman kills early, so he can take the risk of going for the red cam, then take a bit of a bigger risk of expanding on the high ground. Romantic doesn't want to try to punish this, tries to counter expand instead. And then we have, you know, some breaker wars going on. The water elemental split were essential right there in that game. And yeah, just what he's been doing for years. He is one of the best human mirror players in the world, after all.
Yeah. His matches against TH, just legendary how they counter each other all the time. We have 1,000 viewers here on this Monday around noon. Thank you very much for tuning in. At work or at university or wherever you are. Like, I wonder how he decides when to expand. Because sometimes they go for an expansion, sometimes they don't. It's of course a map thing at times, but I really have no idea what the thought process is.
And that game, it looked to me like it was just a slight advantage for him. And did the item maybe influence it? Like he found the brilliance, which is obviously not a good item, but if you sell the brilliance, that's a lot of gold. So if you set up the expansion, sell the brilliance, you are kind of making up for the money you're not putting into army by selling an item and getting more army after all.
That's right. That's a good point, actually. Well done, Remo. Proud of you again.
Damn, so much pride.
Pride? Praise?
Pride from you. You're proud. Pride, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Kappa pride?
Question in chat from earlier. Will you cast the Hive Workshop qualifier today? I have to work later.
Me too.
I
Sorry.
have to work later, so unfortunately not. But we're going to cover the main event this Friday and Saturday.
Correct.
Saturday.
There's going to be streams happening, though. I know of a couple of people who will be streaming. Well played, probably. Link, probably. But not us today, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're just here for the Asians.
But almost every day we're here for the Asians, but also on the weekend we're going to have European coverage, as we did yesterday with the W3IL, which was a great cast. Right, Neil?
Loved every single
Very
Damage.
professional cast. I had an opportunity to show my professionalism once again.
Yeah, as people all over the world are praising you for it.
Yes, absolutely.
As always. Echo Isles it is. Remo, map number 2. Infi with the lead. Could be the second rogue warrior here in the round of 8 if he makes it through this group.
And Echo Isles, here we do see some different things sometimes, and that is concerning the first hero. I'm not sure that these two are very fond of a different first hero, but among the top Chinese, like Sok, not top Chinese, top humans, like Sok, like Chimiko, we see quite a bit of MK first. Infi and Romantic, though, both kind of more on the AM train, also in different matchups. So MK first would surprise me here. Are we gonna get surprised?
Nope. Archmage, Romantic again in the blue, Infi in the red. Yeah, who are the players who could go for Mountain King? I think Chimiko is pretty much the only one.
Sok also does it.
Okay. Haven't seen it too much. But another possibility here, fast expansion. You can go for the Merc Camp and then expand to have Shadow Priests early on. In general, the Merc Camps here, very important. Shadow Priests, super important. We haven't had a Mercenary Camp on CH, but here on EI we do. And that makes everything a little more interesting, I guess.
And normally we have pretty late techs on Echo Isles as well, because there's so many good camps to creep. You want the Merc Camp, you want the Natural, and you kind of should creep him with Mercs, with Militia. Of course, Merc Camp, you have to creep with Militia. So the Ultra was pointing in a direction that looked like Romantic was not gonna go for the Merc, but it was a trick, Neo! It was a little tricksy trick!
Oh!
Players force
He's
out.
going
Mind
for the Merc
games.
Camp after all.
So he arrives a little later, but should still be able to finish it. No Dispel against the Water Elemental, but big damage on this Archmage getting bashed. Oh my lord, float as well! Whew, that's quite a big loss here. Talisman, the item doesn't make up for it though. And here, Ring of Protection +4, okay. No big item here, like a Pendant of Energy or whatever.
Yeah, slightly sloppy creep there, summoning the Water Elemental too late. And if you do it 1 second too late, then you get bashed and bashed again and bashed again, and suddenly
A player's
you're low
forces
HP.
are
But
under
good
attack.
thing he has that Shadow Priest. At the end of the day, it's only gonna cost him mana to recover here. Might matter if he only has 1 Abolish left, but not the end of the world.
Oh, definitely not. Don't discourage yourself, Romantic. We're getting towers in the base on both sides. Infi always a little faster, just 1 step ahead. No one's really going for fast expansions. We will see techs soon, I guess. There's no resources on either side.
Might be expansion. Like, you always creep this with Militia. It's just too important to get quickly, too important to get level 3.
Here we go.
And then you have the decision, do you expand or do not expand? And it's a bit of a dice roll. If you do expand, it can be dangerous. There's a tavern close by. Opponent could be teching. Opponent could be coming in with a panda. So this, to me, oftentimes feels like, how confident are you feeling? Are you feeling confident enough today to pull up the expansion? Or are you going to play more conservative?
Or you know your opponent so well that you know that he's expanding, and then you have to make the choice, do I want to pressure it early with the panda, or do I want to go for the long run? And Romantic is kind of faking an expansion, using the peasants to creep a little to speed things up, but then moves them back. So this should be... Like, this is an earlier tier 2 for Romantic, but he's not teching yet. He's not even close to having the gold for the tech.
He just started teching.
A player's forces are under
Okay,
attack.
yeah. My calls
Yeah, so-
again, Remo. It's all.
Yeah, this is a kind of typical Echo Isles game, and Romantic. This is the first interesting strategic differentiation between from the first game. First game he said, "Okay, you expand. I guess I expand as well." This game he says, "Okay, you expand. I go all in." So he limits his options for later on, but I guess he deems this is my best shot at winning here. So let's see if it works out. We have 2 Shadow Priests already, very important to grab these up very early on. No Berserker yet, though.
On Romantic side, we have one. And double Shadow Priest, so he's making better use of the mercenary camp just yet. Mana's rather low, especially for Infi.
But now the Berserker here will be available. I wonder, shouldn't Romantic have tried to steal the Berserker? If he had double Berserker now versus 0 Berserker, this could be quite scary. But Infi gets the Berserker instead, and with that, plenty more damage. Infi's trying to buy the time for the one Arcane Tower that can be a decent help if Romantic pushes further. Militia had been called a little bit earlier, may be required once again, but Infi is not calling the Militia just yet.
Big kill
And
for Infi.
he's just holding on here well enough,
Killing
even without
almost
Militia.
both Shadow Priests, man. This one is super hurt. Now the battle for the Berserkers. Infi not committing to it yet, but Romantic is. He has to go back anyway.
Players' forces are under attack. The town
Okay,
is
that
under
one's
siege.
safe, and now Arcane Tower is up as you mentioned. The Shadow Priest is safe. Oh, this Berserker though
Oh, that's a big one.
isn't.
Good experience as well. We're getting close to level 4. Level 4s here matter a lot. That is a lot of mana and a lot of water elementals. That Arcane Tower actually denied the water elementals. Rare mistake from Infi. But should still get level 4 here at a certain point. Tech now has started for Infi. He's getting a lumber mill in the main. He needs more lumber. He needs to have a lot of peasants as well. He needs to be ready to call militia because he must know tier 2 push is coming in. And that's why I thought we were gonna see a panda here for instant pressure right away again. But Romantic's going MK instead.
Yeah, that surprises me a lot. Maybe he's tier 2 expanding then? Because it makes no sense to push with a level 1 Mountain King. We see this a little more nowadays.
Yeah, against Orc especially.
Yeah, but still not standard. And
I don't know, man. I think
Players' forces are
Romantic
under
has to
attack.
come with militia like right now. Call militia right now. Tower up.
He cancelled
siege
it.
the expansion.
he cancelled the Mountain King
Okay.
and
Yeah, that makes
went
sense.
for the Panda.
Oh,
He's still-
daytime. Oh, Infi's gonna get the heal scroll. That's such a big deal. Oh yeah.
And the invul as well. Ouch. Second tower coming up. More towers coming up. Infi, back in the old days, known as the 6th race, the tower race. Those days are long gone, but still helpful, of course.
If he buys time for the 3 guard towers in the back, Romantic is kind of screwed. So, pressure's on Romantic. This is the nature of all-ins. You are under the gun. You have to make this work sooner rather than later. There's no transition for you anymore. It's too late. You can't expand anymore. This game is going to go only one direction.
Players' forces are
This is a lot of upgrades for Infi here. Tech defense is ready as well. Shop falls. And he couldn't buy anything. Heroes are quite far away from the action, but he's buying time for the towers. First one got cancelled. The other 3 are at 40%.
the town is under siege.
And this one's certainly going to get cancelled as well. There's still very good piercing damage here for Romantic. Cancel the second tower as well. This is costing him water elementals. This is costing him mana. But he cancels the towers. He buys himself a little bit more time.
One is still up. And this will finish. 4.4 Archmage. Still no level 3 Blizzard
Oh.
transition.
Great idea.
An
Great
Infi
idea.
Echo Isle special. Hide behind your buildings. You'll be safe. There's no disable. Blizzard's gonna go through all the waves. And isn't that a beautiful Blizzard, Remo? Not the new.
And did you see the
reforged-
particle effect on the wand, on the
Yeah,
staff?
it's beautiful.
They really need to add that. Like, that being missing is a big
You know what my problem with the Reforged Blizzard is, I think? It comes straight from the top, and the Frozen Throne Blizzard is coming from a little angle, you know?
Does it
It's
come
not-
straight from the top?
Yeah, it looks like the Frozen Throne lightning strikes you see sometimes.
Lightning strikes?
Yeah, there is this spell that's a lightning strike coming from the top.
What spell is that? From
What's it called again? I don't know.
who has
Chat.
that spell?
Players' forces
You will,
are under
you will
attack.
be able to tell us.
I don't
It's
think
like-
they know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like 3 beams of lightning coming from the sky. Or 4? I'm not too sure. I think it's 3.
Ah, you mean like from custom maps and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
See?
Yeah, I don't know. I only saw the Blizzard animation from this guy, data miner guy, on Twitter, and that was an awful video. Like, he recorded with his phone camera or something.
Players' forces are
That was awful. Like, I'm not gonna make a statement on that.
I hate it.
I hate it. hate it. Oh, that's a good Blizzard harass right there. Look at how beautiful this Blizzard is, Neo.
It's wonderful.
Oh, he can abuse so hard now with the staff as well because there's no Stormbolt to cancel it.
Yeah.
Nice.
He can't cancel this throughout the entire game. I mean, he could go tier 3 and then go Mountain King, but...
Forces are under attack.
But I'm actually surprised how Romantic's counter expansion might still be working out. Like, it feels like it should have been way too late. But
yeah.
Looking at the resources and supply and everything, like, Infi can't break into 70 instantly. It's still gonna take a while. He doesn't have breakers already. He doesn't have priests already. He's still taking a while to come online.
He has 3 Shadow Priests though. He got a Mountain King level 2.6 and look at the inventory. It's gorgeous. So tanky. So much mana. And I love the Sanctum at the expansion. So even if Romantic positions between base and Expo, he can still get reinforcements. And now getting breakers from both bases.
AM staffing into the main. Oh, that's a brilliant play. Forcing the TP from the enemy back into the main, and guess what? In the meantime, it's MK at the Expo.
So good. This multitasking. On point. He can't stay in with an invo or TP out. He decides to TP out.
Oh, that's so good.
Rotates out the footman. GG. Romantic completely overwhelmed. Infi, a master of strategies and timings. Smooth sailing into the winner bracket final.
Oh, that was really well done. That was really, really, really well done by Infi.
Yeah.
And patient play, and I don't know how to describe it. He's going for the very smart plays as well. The plays that have a very low chance of not working. I like that a lot.
This was top tier Infi. Romantic has threatened Infi and TH quite a couple of times in Human Mirror. More TH than Infi, if I recall that correctly. Today was not his day. He has to make his way through the lower bracket. He's gonna face a Korean that's either another Human Mirror or an Orc. Romantic is a beast against Orc. So for Soin, I mean, there's no easy way, but you don't want to meet Romantic in the lower bracket semifinal, that's for sure. Soin was already eliminated in a lower bracket semifinal this last week. At next, could be the second time right here, because that's the next match coming up. The Chinese are done for the semis. Here come the Koreans. Chamiko versus Soin is next. We go into a little break, and then we're back here at Back to Warcraft with Yule Cup 2 Group B. Stay tuned.